Hello, Descender modding community and everyone else that's new to the channel. Here today we are going to show how my forest generator script works in Unity 2017. First we got here is a very basic terrain. I want to create a couple of steep slopes here just to kind of show how the difference of how the trees work getting placed here. So let's get to it. First thing we want to do is make sure in our editor folder, capital E, we have our random forest generator script put in here. What that will do is create a tools, create random forest multi. So for this to work, what we'll do is first go to tools, create random forest multi. For the video to work, I need to drag this into a tab here just so that you guys can see everything that's working here in the screen. But what we're first going to do is show how some of the options work. So let's go to our prefabs or prefabs here, and we're going to put a tree one up to our prefab here. We're going to make sure our terrain is selected up at the top here, and that creates where the forest is going to generate in this yellow box. So if we want to go ahead and create this a little bit bigger, let's go to 1000 by like 1000, get a little bigger area there, and then we're going to create another tree type here that's a bush, for instance. So we got one tree and we got one bush. Why I want to do a little difference here is because natural world trees can't grow on steep slopes. Some bushes can. So with our bush here, what we're going to do is on our max slope, we're going to set this up to, let's say, 80. And our tree is we're going to set this 40 is pretty much normal. Let's just set it to 35 for this example here. We don't need to set any materials here because this is a model that doesn't need them or included. So let's just go ahead and set our count up to, say, 200 trees, and we're going to go to like 500 bushes here. The scale size is going to be the type of how tall and big and small the trees are. So let's put some big trees here. So let's go to 4 and to 6. So that's how big the trees are going to be. Let's skip everything else for now. The fade density on slope is going to be how they show up on the slope. And so since I want to show this on everything, let's actually go to the whole terrain size. So let's go to 2000 by 2000. And now it should show on all the terrain slopes and steepness. Let's set this up a much higher count now since we're much bigger. Let's go to 1000 there, and let's go to 2000 on our bush. And let's go ahead and just leave everything else as is and hit generate forest. Boom. As you see here, you got trees that are not on the very steep slope, but you do have some bushes that are going up a little bit higher on the terrain slope, as you see, versus some trees. Go over here, same thing. You got a bush way up here where a tree would not be here because of the max slope. So that's one option that you have. So if you have a very steep terrain, you don't want the trees on a very steep option, but you do want bushes or something on there, you can do that. So that's one very basic option of how this all works. All right, and the next option I'm going to show you is how you can just do a little small part of your terrain instead exactly where you want it. So let's just go ahead and just delete our generated forest here. Go back to square one. Now we're going to go to use selected object as center point. I need to change this because it says center here. It doesn't show it all the way. But we're just going to drag a random tree, let's say right here. And now you see the yellow box is kind of centering around it. Let's go a much smaller size. Let's just go like 100 by 100. And you see we're just getting a little small area just in this little zone here. Obviously 1000 trees is way too much for that zone. Maybe 50 is probably too much or not, but let's just go there. Let's just remove the bush for now because we're just working to show the different aspects of what this script can do. And so let's go ahead and hit generate forest, and there you are. You got a little small zone just in that little area there. All right, next thing I want to do is kind of show how some of the different trees and models that I've come across work in this zone. So let's just reset this back up to like 500 by 500. Oops, that's too big, 500. We're going to reselect our tree here, make sure it needs to be selected so it centers around it. And then we're going to go to a different tree fab. So let's go to, this is from Nature Starter Kit on Unity Hub. Let's just drag this one up here and see how it looks. One thing I want to show is too also the coloring. We can change this end color to, let's say, more of an autumn, really bright color. Actually, let's go more purple or something. Yeah, that looks really better. All right, let's see. Go ahead and hit generate forest. Oh, as you see now, this model is getting the same trees here. We're getting different coloration, so you're getting more of a fall autumn if you want to change this start color and end color on here. And this is just how another model looks on it. Let's go back really quickly and see how the original model looks with this same coloring. And you see it's a little bit different. Quickly go ahead and generate this. Oops, I forgot to select the tree here, so we can quickly just delete this, reselect this, hit generate, and boom, this back where it is. And you see this one, it's not doing as much variation as the previous one, just because of how the model is originally designed and set up with its materials and properties. Last thing we can do here is show what the last texture I have is from Polyfab. And so let's go back to our assets here, and we're going to add tree 2 here. And this is one that requires special materials. So I had to go ahead and create a new material and assign all the PNGs of the albedo, the roughness, and the normal map to get them all to get these 3 things. So now we go ahead and we got leaf material. We're going to drag our leaf material up here. We're going to drag our trunk material to that area. We're going to drag our branches material up here. And let's just say the same count. This one, the scale is really off, so we're going to have to go up to like 2,000. Let's go up to 3,000 for max. And it's also set up on a wrong plane. So this one we need to at least set up to 270 to kind of rotate it so it is vertically standing. And that's what this option is for, in case you come across a model that needs to just be rotated properly just from how you input it into Unity. Let's go ahead and just generate the forest. And as you see, here we are. We got the new model here. As you see, it's texturing all the branches and the trunks and everything with the original material, and also changing our coloring because of we started our start color and end color a little bit differently and everything. I need to add an option here to just ignore the start and end color if you want to just leave the coloring alone. That's something that will be done in a future revision here. Other than that, just want to show that. All right, so here's another option to do if you want to kind of make more of a dead forest or something. So we got our broadleaf material set up in our prefab here. We don't need any of these here. We're going to do 50 count. This is a much smaller scale, so we're going to set it smaller. And let's go ahead and change our random axis rotation here. So if we click this, let's say we want all the trees to lean at least 10 degrees and some of them lean up to 30 degrees. Let's go ahead and generate the forest. And as you see, they are now kind of, some of them leaning with some degrees, some are not fully leaning. That is one cool option you can do. If you want to make it a little bit more dead-like, what we can do is just change this alpha cutoff to go, let's say, somewhere up in the higher range. Let's just go regenerate the forest the same way. Oh, now you see is they look a lot more dead. There's a lot more less leaves showing on there. They're leaning, they're kind of falling over. So you got a lot of different options that you can try to play with this script, and I'd love to see what people make with this. All right, and one of the last few options I didn't include is this whole ignore full model. If you have that highlighted and you have different colors selected here, it's just going to ignore the bark, the branches, everything else. It's just going to highlight everything. So if you see here, I just got this broadleaf set up. Go ahead and generate the forest. If you zoom in here on this everything, you can kind of see all the, this one didn't have the color selected, but this one had a tint to it. So you're going to have more purple stuff. You're going to have more green trunks and branches. It's just not, it's something that if you maybe want the option, it's there, but it's probably not recommended to have that option. But figured let everyone know all the different options that you have here. The last thing I'm kind of working on is this whole clustering. And it's more trying to make it more AI generated so that you have different multiple tree types here going on, and say, hey, I want to have this tree broadleaf more clustered in this zone, this tree type more clustered in this zone, and this tree type not even clustered at all and just spread out through everything. So you give more random generation of exactly how you want it to go. But yeah, hope you guys are enjoying the series. Hope you guys are enjoying the scripts. Everything is going to be on GitHub. Everything is going to be in a link below if you want the script to play around with it as well. And I hope everyone has a really great night. Goodbye.